important issue in the governor's race here in Virginia?
Getting back to the basics of teaching children, not teaching them critical race theory.
And what is critical race theory?
Well, I'm not going to get into the specifics of it because I don't understand it that much, but it's something that what little bit that I know I don't care for.
And what have you heard that you don't?
Well,
that you
I'm
don't
not.
like?
I'm not going to. I don't have that much knowledge on it, but It's something that I don't care for.
So nothing. He's got absolutely nothing. And look, that's one old man. I kind of feel for him a little bit. And like it seems like he's got some racialist ideas and everything. But I do feel he is out there trying to live his life, and he has been thrown into an ocean of propaganda, and he has been terrified by everyone that he trusts in media about a thing for months and months and months. And he comes out of it deciding his vote based on it. And he has absolutely no idea what it is, despite it being talked about nonstop on Fox and every one of the independent right-wing media outlets. He still has no idea what it is that has him so terrified. And I'm sure maybe some other voters could give a little bit better of an accounting of what it is or why they're scared of it. But that is, I think, a microcosm of what our politics has become. An entire election could turn on something that people don't even understand, but they know that they're supposed to be scared about it, Nina.
Yeah, and at least he told the truth. He was honest about it. Look, I don't know much, but what I've heard, I don't like. And it's been a scare tactic that has been used by the right and is being used very successfully, I might add. And this really does boil down to this whole notion that it is somehow un-American or unpatriotic to really teach the truth. Separate, I'm taking critical race theory out of it because it is not being taught in schools. It is barely being taught in college. It's a very specialized, it's a very specialized issue. Everybody that goes to college is not learning about critical race theory. However, this really boils down to race, racism, the anti-Blackness, and then all the other isms that go with it. And somehow this, as Fox is painting these right wingers, that somehow, these big mean Democrats are trying to make white people feel bad about being white, or they're trying to make our white children feel bad. No, that is not the case. That is not happening in schools. And what is going to happen though, because of this, is that now what's being challenged is just teaching American history. Just teaching Black history, which is American history. Part of American history is stole the land from the Native Americans. Let's go ahead and start with that and put that out there. It's real. The enslavement of Africans, generation after generation, that's out there. Women at once upon a time didn't have the right to vote. Our gay, lesbian, transgender sisters and brothers, family and friends didn't have the right to marry. I mean, you name it. Labor. Yeah. It's all kinds of things that might not sit well with this fantasy about America exceptionalism and this misnomer that just because the framers wrote all men are created equal did not mean at the damn time that they wrote it that all men were created equal, because they were not. They really meant all white land owning wealthy ass men are created equal. We want to tell the truth about it. And then they started to expand out even more and more to give more power to one group over another. So let's go tell what's wrong with telling that truth. I don't understand why they running from that. And that's not critical race theory. They don't even know what the hell they're talking about.
Exactly. It is just there are a lot of inconvenient truths out there.
Yeah.
No, they are terrified of the truth. That's all it is. And by the way, some of this seems new. They call it CRT, even though they don't know what that is. This is exactly the same as, like when people were talking about white privilege and trying to get white people to understand their privilege, they were terrified of that. They could not engage with it. They ran from it, calling it something that it's not. They are very, very scared. And for that reason, very, very weak. And they don't like being scared. And so this movement reassures them. We're not going to allow you to experience one iota of cognitive dissonance, not a bit of stress over what has been done historically or what you should think about it or what should change in the future. We will shield you from that. We will create a safe space the size of America for you to hide from the truth on, and we will cancel whatever teachers or whatever books we need to produce that. And all the while, we're gonna talk about how safe spaces are bad and cancel culture is the worst. I would be much more fine with what they're doing if they would at least admit what it is, but they won't do that.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.